All right, welcome back. It's Remote Contractor Solutions. My name is Jonathan Rosaz, and I'm here to help you out in terms of building your business and scaling. One of the questions that we get asked all the time when hiring virtual assistants is, what tasks do I delegate to my virtual assistant or my VA? I believe having more organization in your business always helps more. The customer journey, they don't experience a bottleneck when asking for a quote and to delivering the actual services that you're offering. So for any type of contractor business, a virtual assistant can remove a lot of the work that needs to be done. A good VA could remove a huge amount of work, administrative work that you can use so you can focus on sales, operations, crews, and cash flow. Let's go down the line, right? Why is it important to delegate all of the administrative tasks? What are some administrative tasks? 100% picking up the phone calls is probably the number one task that you need to delegate, because if you're answering phone calls during work hours while you're actually physically doing the work, it could potentially cause you to lose business. Why? One, you're not writing the information down to a customer, or you need to stop doing what you're doing to grab the lead information so that you can do the work later. What happens there? You're stopping work to earn potential work. If you have someone picking up the phone calls, it eliminates all the time that you spend on administrative tasks that are really not the highest income producing activity that you as a business owner should be tackling. Is it important to pick up your own phone calls? Absolutely, in the beginning. But once you get the ball rolling, once you are busy, and once your schedule is full, it really, really strains your business to not have someone picking up the phone calls. When I started my journey about 6 years ago, I was picking up all the phone calls. I was doing all the administrative work. What ended up happening was things slipped through the crack. Not only was I picking up the phone calls, I was also doing the scheduling. I was also doing the invoicing. I was also doing the estimating. I was also doing the work. Imagine if I'm cleaning gutters and I get a phone call and I'm 2 stories, 3 stories high. It's impossible for me to pick up the phone call and be safe at the same time, or even remember the customer's information or write the information down for myself in my app. It's impossible. If you're using Jobber, it's super easy to add the information, but if you're doing the work, you have to stop doing the work to take on someone's information. People buy when the iron's hot. If you don't pick up that phone call, they're calling the next business owner. Whoever picks up the phone in general is a better impression than someone who you called, left a voice message, and never got back to them. The number one delegated task that you need in your business, if you haven't done so already, is a secretary or a virtual assistant that picks up your phone calls, lead intake. The quoting process is huge. 1000% increased my business to be able to send a quote within 15 to 20 minutes. Do the best that you can do to delegate and automate your business, that it can be cookie cutter results. What does that mean? I train my virtual assistants to be able to measure gutters virtually and prepare a quote. After a certain amount of months that they work with me, then I tell them, hey, you have the authority to send quotes underneath the 500. I have a virtual assistant that's been working for me for 4.5 years. She's an absolute stud. She's able and authorized to send quotes minimum $2,000 because she knows how to measure. She knows what she's talking about. She knows what she's looking at, all virtually, by the way. Sometimes in the beginning, they don't sound like they know what they're doing because you need to educate them in your industry. They need industry knowledge. They need industry terminology. Once they pick up the speed on that, then you can give them another task. The other task that I would recommend is being able to draft quotes for you. Based on your inspections and based on your notes, they're able to draft up a quote. So that way, when you do get time to get on your laptop or get on your phone to log into your Jobber and say, okay, I got 5 quotes in the drafts, let's finalize them and send them to the customer. It's already prepared for you, because that also takes time. That preparation of the draft, right, of the quote takes time. Making sure you have all your variables. If you're taking inspections, make sure you put all the details so that you can also automate this process too. And when I go to America and I do some inspections in person, I'm doing 5 inspections a day. It takes me a bunch of time to drive to the lead, to talk to the customer, to do the walk around, to do the inspection, and then I have to go to the next inspection. However, I have my virtual assistant who looks at my notes, very detailed. Hey, there's 200 feet here that I need installation. Over there's 5 feet of fascia board that needs to be replaced. Downspouts are staying, preparing a quote for me. When I get to the coffee shop or get to my house or get to my laptop, boom, draft's already created based on the notes that I took on my inspection. It's already right there. I'm going to work on the biology, B-U-Y-L-O-G-Y. What does that mean? It's the psychology of buying of the customer for the sales. Sometimes it's just you need to work out the price. Have your unit costs, but you can play with your margin. Right? Third task that I would do for delegating to a virtual assistant is invoicing, collecting payment. You know, you're doing so many jobs, you forget to invoice the customer. Now, I 100% recommend, if you're not using Jobber, if you're using something else, to make sure to collect a deposit with a credit card. If they're not paying you with check, at least get a credit card on file. That way you can charge them upon completion. Make sure it's in the contract's details, in the disclaimers and terms and conditions. Upon completion of the job, you're going to be collecting payment. Why? Having account receivables is not fun. You know, as a contractor, you're buying material. You have to pay your guys. You have to pay the subs. You have to pay everybody, and the last person that gets paid is you. So being able to collect payment upon completion is super, super important. You see right now, someone's calling us as we speak. Guess what? I'm not picking up that phone call because I have a virtual assistant that picked up the call. Another task that you can give your virtual assistant is answering and responding to emails. All the customers that are following up, you can drop the ball if you're not following up on time. Anything that needs to get escalated to your attention, that it's a specific question that you need to do, or a customer wants to talk to the owner, absolutely. They can make a message to you to ensure that you get back to them as soon as possible. Because imagine, for example, you have 20 quotes that you sent in the last 30 days, and you're following up on all 30 quotes. It takes time. So they should also be following up with your quotes as well. That's the other task that they can do. What I've noticed in business is a lot of frequently asked questions is true. Second, it's repetitive actions that are repeatable. You're doing the same thing every single time. It's the same action, the same questions, the same objections. Nothing really changes. It's just repetitive. If you're able to eliminate your time and leverage it with someone else's time to do a smaller income producing activity so you can focus on the bigger income producing activity, that 100% is worth thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. The other task that I have my virtual assistants do is manage my pipeline. What that means is we record our calls for quality purposes and training purposes. However, there's sometimes I am picking up calls on the weekends, right? I have 2 babies, I have a wife, and I'm also doing the scheduling, the logistics, the handling of the crews over the weekend. So I'm picking up all these phone calls. They're getting recorded because on Monday, my assistant comes, listens to all the calls, and makes sure that all the calls I got from new customers, all the notes are being put into the CRM so that we can get them what they want. Anything that you think is time consuming and tedious is what you should be delegating. Anything and everything that you want to delegate to your VA, do it. The difference between my business and your business is if you work 8 hours a day doing all of the tasks, I'm working 40 hours a day, but not by myself. I got 4 other people working 8 hours plus my 8 hours. 5 times 8, that's 40. It's humanly impossible to work 40 hours in one day because we only have 24 hours in a day. The more people you have, the more systems and processes you have, the more money you can make. I make $25,000 up to $50,000 a week, but I'm not working 40, 60 hours a week. I'm working 2-3 hours a day, probably 10, 15, 20 tops per week. But I'm doing only the highest income producing activity, which is sales and follow-ups on high intent customers. I'm not qualifying. I'm not talking to tire kickers. I'm not picking up no phone calls. Only on the weekend, only on Saturdays. But I will soon eliminate that task. I'll see you in the next video, and I hope that was helpful. So this video was for what to delegate, what tasks to delegate for your virtual assistant. Peace out.